So as the field forms up, we have the 87 Falconbridge Racing Rovatech Christian Falconbridge on pole. The King Motorsports Volkert 31 of Mark King on his outside. The 18 Volkert car of Matthew Kennedy out of position 3. Out of position 4 we have the 43 ADR Mechanical car of Cody Evans. Position 5 we have the ADR Mechanical number 5 of Ben Evans, the 44 Sportsman L-Stream of Al Taylor, the 99 of Raz Pedersen, Jason Craig and Stephen Campbell. And we're green, and we have a drag race down the front straight. Mark King had a great start out on the outside roads, jumped to the couple of car lengths lead. All cars are through turn 1 and 2 for the first time and set sail down the back straight. Chris Falconbridge is closing the gap now on Mark King. Matt Kennedy's doing his best to stay on the back bumper of the 87. Mark King pushes up a little bit and opens the door up for Chris Falconbridge, but then slams it shut again. Some fantastic racing from the Turco's Haulage V8 Dirt Modifieds. As Chris Falconbridge is searching all over the track. Oh, we have contact. Unfortunate contact between the top 3 there with Chris Falconbridge, Mark King. And we're green. That's Chris Falconbridge. Showing a cleared set of hills for the 43 of Cody Evans. The Morley 4x4 of Raz Pedersen's Caroline 3rd. And Chris is owning up a bit of a lead. Jason Craig and Ben Evans are having a ding-dong battle through 1 and 2. Jason Craig's got the legs down the back straight. He holds that low line beautifully to maintain the pass and hold position. But it's all the 87 Rovatech FBR 87 of Christian Falconbridge out the front as he's starting to open up a lead on the 43 of Cody Evans. The 99 of Raz Pedersen's holding 3rd from the 24 of Jason Craig, who's charging fast. And we have Stephen Campbell and Al Taylor rounding out the field. But at the moment it's all Christian Falconbridge. Holding that lead on from the 43 of Cody Evans, but he's coming up to lap traffic. Let's see if the lap traffic holds up. Chris, he manages to get around the 44 of Al Taylor, but it's allowing Cody Evans to close the gap up as he's trying to get around the 16 of Stephen Campbell, which he now does. Cody Evans is taking the high line around the 16. Now he's trying to set sail again to wind in. But time has run out as the 87 of Christian Falconbridge has greeted the checkered flag from Cody Evans. 99 of Raz Pedersen, the 24 of Jason Craig, the number 5 of Ben Evans, the 16 of Stephen Campbell, followed by the 44 of Ali Taylor. But unfortunately the 18 of Matthew Kennedy and the 31 of Mark King at DNFs. Hopefully there's not too much damage and the crew can get those cars repaired for the next round of heats for the V8 Dirt Modifieds. Brought to you by Turco's Haulage. So it looks like on pole we have the Race Fame Repair 24 car of Jason Craig. Outside of Jason is the Morley 4 Drive 99 of Raz Pedersen, the Volkert Tyre 18 of Matthew Kennedy out of 3. The Rovatech Chris Falconbridge 87 outside of him. The EDR Mechanical number 5 of Ben Evans out of position 5. Out of position 6 we have the 31 King Motorsports car of Mark King. We have the 44 L-Stream of L. Taylor, the 43 EDR Mechanical of Cody Evans, and rounding out the back of the bus we have the 16 of Stephen Campbell as we get ready to go. Green, green, green. Great start there from Jason Craig as he's leading the field into turn one with a snarling pack behind him. The 99 of Rose Patterson's pushed up and has allowed the 18 of Matt Kennedy to come underneath. The 31 of Mark King's showing the nose to Chris Falconbridge, where Chris has just pivoted the car down low. Slammed that door shut as he's trying to find a way around his teammate in the 99. For the 24 car of Jason Craig starting to open up a bit of a gap. The 99 of Rose Patterson's trying to find that way past Matt Kennedy. A bit of a bobble there. It's allowed Chris Falconbridge to get around the outside. Now he's showing the nose up to the 8 underneath the 18. That's let Mark King now deal with the 99. Cody Evans has probably got the best view on the house at the moment, watching all of this unfold. And then we have at the back, we have Ben Evans, Ellie Taylor and Stephen Campbell. Jason Craig showing a clean set of heels again, continuing to open up that gap on the 18 of Matt Kennedy. Chris Falconbridge is trying his hardest to find his way around that 18 car. The matchmaking very wide at the moment. Rose Patterson's doing his best to hold off Mark King to hold on to fourth. Mark King shows his nose underneath the 99. But Rose well, it's his first year back after a bit of a hiatus. He's still a wily competitor. He saw that coming and shut that door hard. As Jason Craig's now coming up to lap traffic, let's see if he can safely navigate the 16 of Stephen Campbell and whether that's going to allow Matt Kennedy and the 18 to close up, which it looks like it has with the white flag out. There's only one to go and it's starting to bunch the field up now behind the 16. We've got the 24 of Jason Craig with the 87 of Chris Falconbridge. The 18, the 31, the 43's gotten around the 99. So congratulations to Jason Craig on a heat win in the 24. Followed by Chris Falconbridge, Matt Kennedy, Mark King, Cody Evans, Raz Pedersen, Ben Evans, L. Taylor, and closing out the field is the 16 was Stephen Campbell. It was a bit hard to know where to look then, ladies and gentlemen. There was action all over the track. So grid positions for the Turco's Haulage V8 Dirt Modifieds. We have the 87 of Chris Falconbridge on pole, the 24 of Jason Craig outside of him, Cody Evans in the 43 out of 3, the 18 of Matt Kennedy out of 4. Correction, the 31 of Mark King out of 4, the 5 of Matt Kennedy, the 5 of Cody Evans, the 44, and then the 16 as they take the green, and Falconbridge gets a really good start. Mark King's dropped back a little bit, but it won't be long before he picks back up. As I say that, he tries to dive underneath the 18 of Matt Kennedy. But out front you have Christian Falconbridge from Jason Craig, Cody Evans. Matt Kennedy's opened up a couple of car length gap over Mark King. Then we have Ben Evans, Ali Taylor and Stephen Campbell in the 16. Out front we still have Chris Falconbridge starting to open up a small gap now over the 24 of Jason Craig, with Cody Evans sitting right on his back bumper waiting for Jason to make a mistake, but that might not be, that's going to be a long wait with Jason being a very experienced driver in both V8 Dirt Modifieds and limited sprint cars. Matt Kennedy's got his hands full with a hard charging Mark King. As we complete another circulation, it's still Christian Falconbridge from Jason Craig, Cody Evans, Matt Kennedy. Oh, and Stephen Campbell's looped it coming off turn 4, which will bring on the yellows. Hopefully the 16 car of Stephen Campbell will be able to refire. Just looking at the 31, it looks like the access flap to allow a bit of ease of egress and ingress for the 31's just popped open. Nothing serious. This might be a bit more breezy in the car for him. So as the 87's coming around to take the green, and Chris has got a great start on taking a jump on Jason Craig. He kind of got caught the field napping, which has allowed him to open that lead back up. Cody Evans has hitched the rope onto the back of the 24. But out in front we still have the 87 of Chris Falconbridge from the 24 of Jason Craig. 43 Cody Evans, the 18 of Matt Kennedy, the 31 of Mark King, the 5 of Ben Evans, and we have a battle at the back of the field between the 44 of Al Taylor and the 16 of Stephen Campbell. With things settling down now, the gap between Chris Falconbridge and Jason Craig doesn't seem to be opening. Jason's holding on to the back of the 87 quite nicely. Any mistake from the 87 should see the 24 in a position to pounce. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like the 18's pulled infield. So hopefully nothing too serious there for Matt Kennedy in the 18, as Chris Falconbridge comes around as he's getting ready to approach lap traffic. This could be Jason Craig and Cody Evans' chance. We'll see if the gap closes between the 87 and the 24. Which Chris is having a bit of trouble getting around the 16, which he now does. He manages to get a 2-for-1 deal, but it's trapped Jason Craig behind him as well, so that's allowing the gap to reopen. Jason's managed to get around safely from the 44 that's left the 43 of Cody Evans now to deal with the lap traffic, and it's allowing Mark King to close even closer onto the back bumper of the 43. But out front, Chris Falconbridge is showing his class and a clean set of heels. Bit of a push there from Jason Craig, but thankfully the 43's a bit further back and not able to take advantage of the slight mistake. Oh, we've got drama there for the 24. We're up in smoke. That's not a good sign. And that'll bring out the yellows for the smoking 24, just so the crew can go over and make sure everything is okay with Jason and the car. But unfortunately for Chris Falconbridge, it means his lead has been erased again. So as we just await word to make sure that Jason's okay. Yeah, it looks like they're going to push Jason off into a safe position on the infield. Which means our starting order will be the 87 of Chris Falconbridge, the 43 of Cody Evans, the 31 of Mark King, the 5 of Ben Evans, the 44 of Al Taylor, and the 16 of Stephen Graham reading out the field. Very heartbreaking with Jason. He took out a heat wind tonight and definitely had that car going fast. So hopefully it's nothing too terminal or serious, and he can return to the Motorplex for the final round of the V8 Dirt Modified season in 2 weeks' time. So as Chris brings them around to get ready to take the green flag. And he's able to take advantage and got a really good restart there over the 43 of Cody Evans and the 31 of Mark King. Ben Evans is currently sitting in 4th and first place sportsman from Al Taylor in the 43 and Stephen Graham in the 16. But Cody Evans isn't letting Chris Falconbridge get away with it too much this time. He's sitting right on his back bumper. Chris is going to have his hand full if Cody gets a bit closer. So 2 distinct lines there. Chris taking more the high line, Cody the lower. It looks like Chris Falconbridge is starting to open up a slight gap already. As Steve Graham's looped it in turn 4. Well, he's safely off the track enough, so we'll keep the greens on. So Chris Falconbridge is still out of front of Cody Evans. Mark King can't make any inroads into the gap on the back of Cody Evans, but we'll see what happens when the lap car of Al Taylor comes into play. As Chris closes fast and quick jerk around to the 44. It was a nice move, a nice drive there by all drivers. Cody Evans is not letting Chris Falconbridge get away. He's holding on to the back end of that 87. He's not letting the winner of last week's round, Amora, get away with things too easy here. He's going to make Chris work for it if he's going to take the victory. As Mark King successfully navigates the lap traffic. Still Chris Falconbridge out of front of Cody Evans. A big gap back to Mark King. Ben Evans and then the 44 of Al Taylor. So 22 down out of the 25 laps. Falconbridge is still showing a commanding lead over Cody Evans. Mark King, Ben Evans and then Ellie Taylor. We'll see if Chris can get around the number 5 of Ben Evans, or whether Ben's going to do his brother a favour and hold the 87 up so he can get past. But with the white flag out, it might be a tough ask as Falconbridge safely dispatches the number 5 and sends it through 3 and 4 for the final time to meet the checkered flag. A commanding race win by Chris Falconbridge. Congratulations to Cody Evans on 2nd, Mark King in 3rd. Ben Evans will take out 4th and 1st sportsman, with Al Taylor rounding out the field. Congratulations to all of the V8 Dirt Modified drivers in tonight's feature race, and thank you to Turco's Haulage for their support of the V8 Dirt Modified division for this Easter long weekend at Trade Hire Augusta Margaret River Speedway.